And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dial Squealing Tactics. It's a Tuesday night. As such, I'm going to be going over the week in Eternal Evolution. I like to do this segment weekly, just kind of discussing what's been going on in game. We'll discuss a little bit about what's coming up, but for the most part, this is just a general recap of Eternal Evolution as of what's today, September 12th, 2023. I do have a guest tonight. The last 2 weeks, I have been lackadaisical. I have not had a guest. I'm bringing back a returning guest. It is none other than Kigerr. He is one of the CCs for Eternal Evolution. I will have his channel linked in the description of this video. Please go give him a subscribe. All right, Kigerr, how's it going this evening?
Just fine. Just not a fan of the back to school traffic, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of back to school, although I do like my kids out of the house. I hear you. So we have a list of stuff to discuss tonight pertaining to Eternal Evolution in the game. I thought I would just start off with just a general question is, are you still having fun playing this game?
Yeah, so that's a question I touched on this past week because Twilight Lands is kind of a weird 2-week cycle because you get it done in the first day or two and then you're kind of crickets into the last 4 days, right?
True.
So I had 2 people in my guild Discord say, so do we just not do anything for 10 days? And when last week we got the Elite chapter, I'm like, we need to do this, right? It needs to be a new thing every week. Yeah. And it would really help the game.
Well, luckily for us, and I know we discussed off camera that I wasn't going to bring it up, but lucky for us, we've been doing the free-to-play challenge, and I don't know about you, but that is sucking so much time. Like, I think, was it last night or the night before, and neither of us could go to bed until we had passed the other. So if you want something to do in that 10-week break, go start a free-to-play account and try to grind it out, because are you considering carrying on after the month is over?
Not really. I just don't have the time for 2 accounts.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it either. I thought briefly I was, but then my other account, who I am in a good guild and stuff, that account is suffering, and I can't do 3. I can't do 3. There's no point.
Especially not with 3 maxed out Caraxias.
Yeah, that server. I bet you that guy doesn't last 3 months though. But if he does, kudos to him. The game has a new source of income. So topic number 1 tonight, Twilight Lands is wrapping up. Tomorrow is the last day. Did you finish 1610 this time?
Yeah, just day 1 I got it done. 16.4 kind of threw me for a loop. It was way harder than some of the other ones in the past. I know it was a Vanguard boss, but I took it down with Summoners and Assassins.
So do you have a Barag at least?
Yeah, I do. I just don't. It's funny. I my first attempt, I did it with Barag and some other guys, and the issue was damage. Yeah. Barag will stay alive and tank it all day long, and he does okay damage, but you need to kill the thing.
Yeah, I can see that. So after Main Wolf came in third, did he message you? Because I think it was you that relayed it to me, that he said he was coming for me this month, and he tried. Yeah. He tried, but he had some technical difficulties, and he ended up getting third.
Yep, unfortunate.
So the Summoner boss was the last boss. It was 1610. I know I helped a couple people because previously, I think it was not last month, but 2 months ago, it could have been 3 months ago, we had the exact same boss for the Summoner boss.
Yep.
And we had Doralee, but we were really kind of running Doralee, Dan, Ampu, Sorv, and then we were running Mazrani, and we were, the strat back then was time the heals. So I tried that initially on my free-to-play account, because that account only has a 1 copy Sif. It didn't do good at all. I think I got like 20%. But then I threw in a 1 copy Sif and got done like 48%. So it was weird.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be the next topic, but she really adds what the team's missing. For the longest time, I felt like my Summoner team is very well developed, but it just feels like it was missing damage and a little bit of healing. So having the summons dying to heal you with the ruler's ring, as well as just pumping out damage, is really what the team was missing.
Yeah, we'll discuss Sif a little bit more later, but I thought it was easier. Like my video, I just lackadaisically oop-de-doop-de-doo, danced through it. Didn't even pay attention to how Main Wolf and Fake Smile were doing, who were the guys that pushed me on my server, and still beat it. I know I'm gonna have to up my game next month because they're coming for me. They are definitely coming for me. If I had waited, well, look, it looks like 11 minutes. Like, that's not a huge ground. They can make that ground up with a little bit of development in a month, but. I still really like Twilight Lands. I know there is that huge gap, and then we have that huge gap because of the community not understanding the scoring system when they initially launched Stage 16. Were you playing the game when Stage 16
Nope.
was at? Okay, so I'm sure you've heard of how it worked, but it was truly unconquerable. People could, at the time, could only get up to about 16-7, and then they were stonewalled because the bosses were so hard, and you just had to throw your entire roster at it and chip away, and it's scored by points or damage dealt, not by time. Of course, if you were the first one to down a boss and then didn't do anything, and the other person next to you downed the boss and didn't do anything, then it'd be time. But that was done by damage. Now, if they implemented that again, they could go back, get rid of the shotgun start on Saturdays, but then we'd be back to that place where people were like, I don't want to race on day one. What do you think? Do you like the way they have it now? I know you have an issue with the break, the 7-day or 10-day break, but would you like to go back?
I actually think it'd be fine having the 10-day break, because there should be a secondary event launching the next week, much like this week. I know it's not people's favorites, the Elite chapter, but it is good rewards, right? It is something to do. It's a couple extra clicks each day, which is nice to have something extra. It's like, oh, this week is this. They just need one more thing for the 4th week of the month. But I think it would actually be fine to just say, hey, it's open 1 through 16. Do it at your leisure, get it done. And like you said, damage or time to kill, like whoever kills it faster wins. And then like you and I, we cleared it day 1. We could use the next 10 days or whatever to try to get better scores, much like endless battles.
Yeah, what I don't want is I remember back when it was just 1 through 15 and people actually had to wake up at 3 in the morning and power through the whole thing in an hour. That I don't want to go back to. I'm not.
But doing it that way also helps out the newer players. Doing it the way I just suggested helps out the newer players, because that first, I think it was like the first or second one that I did, I was able to get to chapter 16 in the first 10 days, and then the last 4 days happens. I got there at like day 8, but if I had those 2 extra refreshes, I could have beat 16. So it just gives them more time to do stuff.
I'm looking at I got my rankings for Twilight Land open up on my screen right now, and as of right now, with 1 day left tomorrow, only 20 people have finished 1610, and then people are stuck at 16-7, which is the unicorn boss, and then people are stuck at 16-4, but it looks like only 33 people on my server have made it past 15-10. I don't know.
But how many more people would do it if they had 2 or 3 more resets,
True. There's like, if I scroll down, I guess the person in 50th, the last person, people can't really see it, that's is on the scoreboard, is my free-to-play, my streaming account, which is at 1010. So really, I'd say only about probably 35 people play competitively on my server. But yeah, Twilight Lands is coming to an end. So the rewards this time around were Ruler's Ring, and then all the normal goodies that we usually get. But tell me if I'm wrong, but it used to have to score in the top 10 to get the Triple S crystal, correct?
I know 1 through 15 you get a crystal, and I thought it was you get a crystal for chapter 16, and then another the mutation crystal, right?
Yeah. I'm
I'm
talking
pretty sure
just
you
for the
also get one
final
from ranking,
rankings.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what they added this time, which I noticed that I haven't really heard anybody talk
Yeah,
about.
they put the box, right?
No, in the rankings, they give SSS Gene Mutation 2 crystal shards all the way through to
Hmm.
rank 100. That I don't think was in the game prior to this month.
No, it wasn't. And also, if I'm remembering correctly, they also we can shoot, or was that? No, that was Summon Arena that I'm thinking about, where they gave us the option. Hey, do you want the extra 20
Yeah.
gene hybrid shards or other stuff?
Yeah, that was
I
endless.
like
That was
that.
endless battles. They gave us the selector in Summit. They also added tier 2 tempering material, so they keep adding more resources in game. I just wanted to point that out on video because everyone says this game is moving more pay to win, but they are kind of supplementing little catch-up mechanisms. Like I have it on the screen right now. 11 through 15 in Twilight are going to get 12 shards of the double triple S crystal. 16 to 20 gets 10. 21 to 30 gets 8. So they are giving out more goodies and red runes. You get red runes for completing in the top 100. So if people are watching this, at least go out there and just push a little bit in Twilight Lands these next 2 days if you normally just skip it altogether, because they are giving you some of the premium rewards in this game. Now I think
I just finally got my first crystal, support crystal.
Ah.
So I'm happy about that.
All right. So the next topic in the game is Hell Arena, because Hell Arena's here. This is one of those game modes that kind of fits into your I want something else to do every day. Even though it's 3 battles, it is something more to do in a given, I guess, forever cycle. Oh, looks like I'm just opening it now on my streaming account, and I advanced up to Advanced Fighter on this, even though I don't play it. So,
The best part is you get to bank some battles if you can't do it one day.
yep, I agree. I think they should just make it 15 out of 15, and you can do it whenever you want during the week, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
How did you... We're going into the last week in Hell Arena. I'm assuming that you've done well, because I've seen... I think I saw some screenshots of you getting the big trophy already. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the week previously I got 4th or 5th, and this past week I got 2nd. So with the Helentis extra payout, I was able to get the both PvP trophies.
Well, that's cool. So
The 20% and the 12%.
I got 6th and then 4th, which didn't give me enough to get the big one, but I've got the next 2, the PvE one and then the little PvP one. Now, there is some controversy about...
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Because this is the final week, the reward for the final week should be usable to purchase things that are in the shop right now, but there's a little...
I don't believe so.
I'm hoping that is what it's going to be, because some of the language in this game has never been very, true to how it sounds. It's always a little different.
The reason why I'm led to believe so is if I can't see your screen right now, but if you go to the events screen and go to Hell Arena, it'll show pictures of the trophies, and those trophies are not the ones that are for offer right now.
Okay, yeah, I got that screen open up right now. The new season of the Hell Arena is about to start. Countdown 5 days. Oh, so that's not good. Season XX is coming to an end, and the new season is about to start. I can't see what's underneath the button. The Hell Arena shop will be refreshed with the new season. Make sure to exchange your rewards before blah, blah, blah. Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, and I'm at a weird cusp myself as well, because I wanted that PvE trophy, and I'm 65 red things away from it, as well as like if you're on the Hell Arena screen, you can click the little symbol of our Hellfighter, and it'll tell you we're going to get bumped back 3 places.
Yep, I knew that was... I remember that from the initial... information on this, that we gotta go back, but at least that means if we're at Hellfighter right now, well, we're gonna be bumped back to 1, 2, we're gonna go back to advanced, which that means we're gonna be able to spend a lot more time in Hellfighter this next season. We're probably gonna be able to get pretty much all the
5
trophies
weeks.
Yeah, all the trophies, some of the astral tickets and whatnot. So some goodies. So I guess you've convinced me that if you have blood-soaked name tags, you're gonna have to probably spend them this week. Otherwise, they're probably going bye-bye. That is very unfortunate, but it is what
At least we know that there's going to be new trophies, right? That's something.
Yeah, it's just like well, I'm gonna be curious to see what they give us next time, because I don't know who's spending their blood-soaked on these. Well, here's the question then. After I place this week, I'm probably gonna have about 1,500 blood-soaked. So now that I think of that, I don't want to spend them. I want to wait till the first day of the next season
and see what the new shop is,
and buy the next one. So whereas you bought the 20% HP PvP trophy, maybe the one next month is attack focused and it's 20% attack.
I'm probably going to get both though.
Yeah. Well, true. Okay. All right. Rub it in. Okay. So for those of you watching, that is something to consider. Hold them till next month, because the shop opens day one and you can purchase whatever's in there right up to the main reward.
The best part is for the other name tags, I forget the name, not the blood soaked. Like we suggested to get the keys and the Halentus, but there's only so many that you need of those. So once we're done with those, then we have a bunch more to go towards astral tickets and things like this.
Well, we're gonna need a lot of keys, because I'm itching to open up that second loadout in my collection, and that
requires like a red key that I've never seen.
Well, here, let me you can't see it again, so let me go to my building, because I thought I could be wrong. You're right though. If it is a different key. Oh, it is. Collection. It says collection new warehouse key. Used to unlock new warehouse. Oh, it says new warehouse pages. So is that this? Or
that's the loadouts, I believe.
Okay. All right. Well, that's probably going to come next season then. I bet you we're going to get those next season. But I still need 2 keys, because I opened up 2 of the all 4 of the large on my main account like a dumbass. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna probably place, looking at my grouping, like it is random who you get promoted into the next week with. Last week by far was my hardest week. I was going up against some absolute krakens that I usually face in Summon Arena. This week on my main account, I'm going up against a little bit weaker opponents. No, kudos to those guys. They're still all monsters, but I think I can get better than 4th.
Ooh, I do have a good story for the Hell Arena, a good heartfelt story. There's this guy in my alliance, also a viewer of both of our channels, Groupie, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he was in my grouping last week, and there were only 9 real people, but we were all like big boys, and he was the one that was going to be demoted. But he he would be demoted, but he ended up in just another Hellfighter shard.
Oh. Wow, how does that work? Kudos to him.
Yeah.
Unless let's not tell the devs about that one. Let's ignore that one. But yeah, good for him.
Good job, Grumpy.
Yeah, good for him. Okay, so I don't know. Hell Arena's ongoing. I like it. The first couple weeks are a little bit absurd, fighting all the bots. But once you get up there, like I really enjoy the big boy leagues, the Hellfighter bracket, where I'm up against my peers, where it is really like it's a struggle. Like you really got to plan out, and you lose one fight or one extra fight in a 4 brackets, and that could put you back a couple.
Or if you lose 1 or 2 extra units, yeah.
Or units.
What's your normal strategy? Do you go against the hard guys on day 1, or do you wait till the weekend?
Nope. I always leave the hard guys to the end, because like this next week, I want to wait till I get the new hunter. I'm going to take her immediately to Immortal. And so why would I go against the big guys without all my weapons? Right? So, yeah. Nope. I'm going against all the easy guys first, and I'm saving all the big boys till I got all my weapons. And you know what? For the most part, because we can see our defenses, we can see all 15 defensive fights and all 15 offensive fights. They're waiting till the end, too. It's been very rare that all the big boys have hit me at the very beginning of the week. So, I think that's the typical strategy, because that is the most optimal strategy if you were really going to optimize it. Kind of like Ancient Altar. You want to wait till the end of the week till your guys are the most powerful, right?
That's what I said, but I have had a little bit of pushback, and their argument has been, yes, you're going to be stronger, but so will they. So
Good.
it depends on who's developing better, right?
Exactly. Good. Let the smartest player win.
That's my argument. Yeah.
So I don't know. I like Hell Arena, but we'll move on to the next point that I have in the agenda tonight. So we did get the addition of another, the extra levels in the Kotosian Triangle dungeon. In this case, it was Molten Abyss, which is the Hunter dungeon. We cannot actually no, we can. I was going to say we cannot actually take Unleashed gear, which is the stuff we need on the Hunter, to Immortal yet, but that's probably going to come this week, I'm guessing, because right now they're giving us the ability to get the tank gear to Immortal. So I just think that we're going to get Battlefield of Azutra opening up on Thursday as well for tanks. But Molten Abyss, when it launched, like, I put out a video. I saw everybody put out, freaking Gameplay Horizon put out 2 videos about you can't, the most optimal team wasn't a full Hunter team. It was...
Yeah, when you said it's a Hunter team, I got a little confused, because in my mind it's an Assassin dungeon.
It is an Assassin dungeon. My Hunters, I've seen some people do it with all Hunters, and they put like Res up front and Nord in there, but it's not optimal. It's janky. Really, Assassins get it done the fastest. That's what I can do. I started mixing it up a little bit with Becca, but obviously we know what's coming this week on Thursday. We're getting another Hunter. It does sound like it is a Ryzeris clone. We'll discuss her more in depth later, but she's probably going to make this an easier fight if you get her up to Immortal. What is your thoughts on the Molten Abyss levels 7 through 10?
So you and I, it's kind of weird because we can just run through these things. Like you said, my Assassins are 6.5 mil, so I can run over it. But as far as the difficulty, I like it a lot more than Crimson Rot, because Crimson Rot, the difficulty of Crimson Rot is that the spiderlings just don't spawn fast enough for you to kill. So you need to AoE them all the entire time, where, like, I just didn't like that aspect of the dungeon, that you had to wait for the spiderlings to spawn faster. It really, for this dungeon, the only thing I didn't like about it was that it feels like just a recolored Disa Caves.
It basically is. It's the same type of boss, but Disa Caves was supposed to be kind of built to be a Hunter boss as well, and Idar there, or whatever his name is, the same as Idar here too. Like, they did kind of reskin all of the bosses a little bit. It's just, yeah, kind of weird, but I'm thinking this is going to get a whole lot easier on Thursday. I'm not farming this one because Molten Abyss...
I was going to say, the real question is how do you feel about the upgrades? Because I also think that this dungeon, all the other ones have been kind of cool set effects, right? This one, it was pretty lazy. It was just plus energy, plus whatever, right?
Yeah, it's a plus flat 10. For the first time they do a knockdown, they get a flat 10% HP, and then it does
plus energy for the other one. Yeah, that was lazy. All the other ones were pretty interesting, and I liked them a lot.
Well, resonant sets, people are using them in niche places. I always have one on Panda. I put one on Res and stuff, but it's really not widely used. Some people get cheeky and put it on Nord and put it on Jaina, but for the most part, I don't think the player base is really using resonant sets. And then for tanks, for the opportunistic set, the only tank I'm putting it on is Zeta and Teresh, because Panda wants a crap ton of accuracy. I guess you could put... and for PvP, you're not going to run him in an optimistic. You're going to run him in a resonant because it's the fastest Panda wins in a tank battle. So and then for Wamagon, if you want to get the most out of a Wamagon, you're putting them in a surge set. So really, I'm not even really farming Molten Abyss. I'm going to be farming the hell out of Crimson Rot, though, which is the other dungeon that is open on the same day, because how much it boosts the summoner team. Right. So, and then we got Roulette of Truth and Mirage Space. Those ones are a little bit different. I do like my Surge gear, and I do like my Assassin gear, so I will be splitting my stamina. You had a video that came out this week that had a really interesting plea to the devs of how they should be changing the stamina tickets in Katosian Triangle. Do you want to mention that system that you theorized?
Yeah, I just don't know how, because they already had it in the game. So everyone knows. So it's the two things that I really think needs to be changed. One is, so we know when we go to the valley, each one has 3 attempts per day.
Here, I'll go to the valleys so people can see what you're talking about.
Each one has 3 attempts per day, and then you have your bank at the top, which you can use whenever you feel like. We have a similar system in the triangle, but instead of 3 per, it can stay the like pick two, whatever, and then everything on Sunday, it can stay that way. But the 2 that open for the day should be 3/3, give me 3 attempts each. And then if I purchase things, like let's say I'm done farming Crimson Rot and I'm done farming the new one, I can bank my 3 or 4 tickets and hold it for tomorrow, which you can do with the valley. What I like to do is I like to hoard them until I find a day where I'm kind of lazy, and then run through them through Terror Dome to try to get some shards.
Yeah, that is a no-brainer. Devs, if you ever watch any of my videos, please do that today. Not today, but on a Thursday. Get that done, because I understand when Katosian Triangle first opened, and the only boss we had was Roulette of Truth. That was the only boss that opened up initially, and I get it, 4 for 4 up top, and then we had the bank. But with now they've slowly drip fed us the other 6 dungeons. Yes, we should have a minimum daily chance for each dungeon, and then when we purchase tickets, it should not go into we have to spend today, otherwise you lose them. It should be going to the bank. So get that done, devs. All right. Okay, so that covers pretty much all of the content we got into the game, other than Sif. So I'm going to pull up Sif right now. Do I even have her unlocked on my streaming account? I do. I got 1 copy. Okay. Let me put it on Observe. Thank you, devs, for putting on the Observe tab. I really like not having to look at all the other stuff when I'm doing these videos. But Sif. So, when we first started the game, especially because Daniel was the second post-launch hero, and then Ampu came 2 weeks later, and Sir Valley came very quickly. They very, very quickly pushed us into all wanting summoners. And it wasn't even Endless Battle. It was called Rise of Heroes. The last boss was a summoner boss. Crimson Abyss was a summoner boss. You could use summoners everywhere. Before we got the X levels in Lost Valley, you could use summoners everywhere. I think Dan Hallman made a video of killing everything with summoners. And summoners,
so assassins are summoners 2.0?
Exactly. So when people bitch about assassins beating everything, it's not new to this game. It's just their turn. But the summoners fell off because energy could beat them, hunters could beat them, tanks could beat them. They weren't scaling up enough with all the other classes to really make an impact, and they were starting to fall off. And then we got this beauty, Sif. So Sif is the major damage dealer, along with Ampu. She actually makes Ampu better, which is, I love that, because Ampu's like a fine wine. He just gets better. But Dan is really falling off. What has your experience been with Sif this last 2 weeks?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier with the Twilight Lands, she fills the 2 problems that the Summoner team has. The biggest one being damage. All of these game modes have timers on them. And the Summoner team is really resilient, so they're really good at just staying alive with the Ruler's Ring, things like this, especially if you have a healer with them. But their damage has always been the issue. Sure, you have Ampu Sir Valley, but it was falling off like you said. Sif fills the two gaps where she is mostly damage, but it is a lot of damage, as well as buffs the other character, as well as the pebbles are dying, which are turning into zombies, which are turning into deers, which are healing everybody with the ruler's ring. It's just doing everything.
Yeah, no, she really does bring the team together. I know when Dorley came to the game, and she hasn't been in the game that long as well. Everyone thought that was going to be the stuff that, or the hero that allowed us to elevate our damage in Turbine, because we all know that you can do monster damage on Spider, you can do insane damage on Whale. Turbine's just been, we were capped at like 2.7. You couldn't really hit over that cap, whereas now Sif, they had to have known she was coming, because I remember way back when we knew like 2 months in advance that Barag was coming. So they have these heroes planned out. They were just like, hold on, guys, just hold on, calm down, put the pitchforks away. You will get your hero, and now she's here, and she does make the team so much better. I have her on my main account. I do have her with a full madness set. I got a double tempered hands, so she's got a buttload of attack. But you know what? My Ampu is still out damaging her in most content.
Well, like we said, she's a bunch of damage, but she also boosts damage.
Yep. And she's got that anti-assassin in her kit. She will kill a Caraxia team. I think it was in Hell Arena. One of my guildmates went up, took his full Caraxia assassin team, and it lost to my summoner team. There is a formation trick you can do with your assassins to prevent that. Not going to say that right now, but there is a way that you can prevent that.
I actually did a video earlier this week talking about progressing on the free-to-play account, where I talked about some placement tricks and things like that, just general things which I thought were very important for people.
Yeah. But no, Sif is great. Now, what I think is, though, the team is complete. Like, we've got the all five. You kind of still do need Sorvali too, because since we're removing a healer, you really need the heals from Sorvali coupled with Ruler's Ring, because alone those two just don't supply enough. Now, who's going to get pushed out when the next summoner comes in 6 months? I guess it'd be 3 months.
Wait, what about the SP in 2 months that you predict?
Yeah, but if the team's already beating, I don't know. I predicted that it had to be an SP because the summoners were lacking so much, and the summoners are the natural counter to assassins. It could still be a summoner, and honestly, I think that you could replace Dan. You could almost replace Dan at this point. I've had to rejuggle my tier list because I've really been struggling of where to put him, because I've always had him first. But now, the bonus he brings to the other summoners is he gives 15% extra attack. Well, Durali gives 40% damage boost, so we don't really need Dan. Sif has super damage.
Something to also keep in mind is when you look at the cast of heroes. Summoners, you just said there's some, but they're one of the two underdeveloped as far as number of heroes.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Sif is amazing. You have 1 day, ladies and gentlemen, a day and 8 hours ish to go get her. Just get a copy, because in 7 weeks there's going to be a giant tower where you can get 2 more. Or you can hoard your limiteds and get a bunch. So you do need her. She is a pivotal. She is required. She is a must X30. She is one of the 3 key heroes that make the summoner team go. I guess I'd say it's Sif, Ampu. Who am I missing? Who's the other one? Sif, Ampu, Dorali. Those would be the 3 key ones. I think Dan is underneath those 3 now. I just do. Would you agree?
Well, Dorley is really good. Generally, as far as PvE, you don't really need the X30, but in PvP, you definitely need it.
Yes, agreed. Okay, so that's Sif. Again, everyone, you got a day and a half. Go get her. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna close my window. We're gonna talk about stuff that is upcoming now. So I'm gonna pull up Facebook right now. I got the Facebook page pulled up. And the first thing is I want to talk about this collab event that is coming in 2 weeks as of Thursday.
Which
So
one, Helentis or Leo?
Lentis, yeah, haha, haha, I get it. Yeah, they are somewhat similar. I would agree. So now, does that mean that we have options? We can just skip Leo and skip Helentis?
I mean, don't you want two Leos?
I'm gonna get him regardless because I got everybody. I want all the toys. But I tried watching the anime. Did you try watching this anime, the 2045 series?
No, but I do have fond memories of the original standalone complex.
Yeah, I loved the 1995 the movie, the anime. Loved that, and I liked the movie, the live action movie. I tried watching this anime on Netflix, and it is bad. It is bad. It is made for 13-year-old kids. It is not adult. It is not complex. It is just bad. So I don't recommend anyone watch it. And that is obviously why they're pushing a collab.
Well, that was one of the big things that I was concerned with a collaboration, not its bad ratings or whatever, but the something you said to me when I started the game was the art style of Eternal Evolution was a big thing, and I was racking my head trying to figure out what's an anime, or because the VIP said anime,
Yep.
what's an anime that matches the vibe and aesthetic of Eternal Evolution. And as far as that, I think they picked a good thing, right?
Well, I got Batu pulled up right now. I got his picture pulled up, and I would have much preferred Batu from the original anime. Decked out with all his... basically, if people haven't seen the original, he was basically like Cable, right? From 1990s X-Men. The big old huge shoulder pads and pouches everywhere, huge gun.
He looks like Cable, but he's decked out like Batman.
Yeah, basically. So, yeah, these ones, the ones we're getting in-game is a little bit... like I said, it's toned down. It's very, very toned down. And if you go watch the...
it looks like it's more towards like I know you said you don't like it, but more towards like the Rebecca style.
Definitely. It is definitely. It is not the Ghost in the Shell I wanted, but it is the Ghost in the Shell we're getting. Right now, we just have sneak peeks of the Major and Batu. I almost guarantee you, I know I shared this with you, that we're getting their mech, because in the 2045 anime they have this really annoying freaking mech with this high pitched voice and always squealing and saying take that, and it's horrible. But that's probably who we're getting, because I did a little research, and from the other collabs this game has done, those 3 units were common across other collaborations.
All three other collaborations have the same 3 units. One collaboration also had they had like a house system, and you were able to get house stuff from the anime, but we don't have that. We might get like a what you call it, frame, but that's about it.
So we're probably gonna get, but we know we're getting the Major, we know we're getting Batu, and we're probably I'm gonna put my little crystal ball my title on the line for predictions. It's gonna be, was it Kamadachi or I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's a little blue mech.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But we also know, because they did Major last week, they did Batu this week. We're 2 weeks away from the collab. Yeah. So next Tuesday we're going to see the third character, and then the release the following week.
So we also know that to get these heroes, they very explicitly said that to get them you need to use collaboration tickets or collaboration event tickets. In every other sneak peek, I went back and looked, it said recruit so and so in the next limited recruitment event, whereas this time it said recruit Batu in the collaboration event. So it's going to be its own currency.
I'm assuming I never sent this to you then. I just sent you a picture on the Discord. They're in German. It was changed to English, and there's it looks like it's like a hero rally type thing, and then you're going to be I sent you the German. The English says that you can do limited, advanced, and collab tickets for the summon rally.
So what's the English say?
I'm pulling it up.
I'm curious. Like, I see the 100 out of 350, and then
here we go.
just
Save
German.
So you send.
So
There you go.
who's sending this to you?
This was some guild members that were able to find this in the advertising
Oh, obtain a total of 350
in German.
through advanced recruitment and limited recruitment, including collaboration recruitment. Okay, so there you go. We got a hero rally coming up next week. Don't spend, ladies and gentlemen. Do not spend your advanced in the hero rally because I'm just seeing 100 out of 350. Now I don't know.
But you see, there's a 5 right under that.
I see get a total of 500 heroes through something. I don't know why they wouldn't just send you.
Probably the same stuff.
So this was on the advertising. Okay, all right. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Tips all around. Thanks, Kigerr. I think he deserves a sub for that little tip. And that didn't come from PIV.
Nope.
that came from the advertisers themselves. So we're gonna have to get these heroes. Does sound like there is gonna be a collaboration event ticket that we get paid out, but we are gonna have to spend limiteds and advance at the same time. Now, that is kind of sneaky because that will come. Oh wait, no, October 28th is an off week, is it not? Or is it a main week? I can't remember.
October what?
28th, because that's when the event goes live.
No, it's September 28th.
Oh, September 28th, sorry.
Which this week we're reading a hero. Next week is off week, so it would be the tower. The week after that would be a new hero, whatever, as well as the collaboration. And then the 5th, October 5th, would be the next rally.
Okay, so knowing that, since that is the beginning of a fresh cycle, I don't think we're going to get another Triple S native to Eternal Evolution on that same week, given that we have to spend our limiteds on these heroes. They could totally say here's 4 heroes, go get them, but I'm hoping that's not the case.
Yeah, I just wasn't around during Valentine's because I know that they did like some kind of ticket system then, right?
Valentine's was the first wish list banner post launch.
Okay, because I've seen some screenshots and stuff of Valentine's where you were able to.
Yeah, they gave.
I guess that was
They gave us Valentine's as currency to use in place of limited tickets, but the way that the heroes, how you got them, was the exact same setup that we get in a wish list banner now. It's just that we had to.
What I'm saying is, I just hope that you're able to get that currency through like. For the collab, what if they put some on like your daily activities, stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Could, but here's what I think they're gonna do. I think they're gonna they already have like a template in endless battles. Since we know that the major is an assassin, I'm guessing we're gonna need summoners, and you're gonna need Sif to beat her, and maybe you have to score, and the highest score gets the most
its own
currency.
Campaign thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then Batu's a Vanguard, so what beats Vanguards? You're gonna need tanks if it's like a Vanguard fight, and then if the mech comes, and if it's a tank, well, then you're gonna need hunters, and we're getting a new hunter next.
Yeah.
Right. So hunters, I think that this next hunter is going to make them the other tank counter, or make them another viable tank counter, since we don't really have a viable tank counter right now. A hard counter. I think that hunters are going to be that again. So that is my prediction of how the event's going to go. I think you're going to have to fight all 3 heroes, and it's going to be like an endless battle. You're going to get ranked, and the highest people get the most currency to pull per every 2 days, kind of like endless battles is right now. You're going to get a payout, and then you use those towards recruiting the heroes. So a lot of guessing here, but is what it is.
That's what we got to go on. It's educated guessing, right?
Yeah. All right.
You wanted to talk about the actual units, or
nah, not really.
Go on from there.
No, I don't really want to. The videos, we're already talking for 45 minutes. We got a couple more topics here. Let's move on. Now I got pulled up on the screen. We got a sneak peek of this bad lady last night, 23 hours ago. Arcadia, a Triple S Wenfear Hunter with a lot of goodies in her kit. Her art style is amazing. I love it. It's basically Ryzeris' evil older sister. It does sound like she's an AoE hunter. Like Rebecca, she's going to get bonuses depending on however many heroes die. I know I've heard people don't like that mechanic, but Rebecca, that's how her shields regen, is by heroes dying. So they're doing something similar there. We're not gonna get into everything about this hero right now, but what was your initial thoughts when you saw the release of the sneak peek of Arcadia?
Well, before talking about her actual kid and stuff, you pointed something just a second ago, which I've been hammering on since I've joined the CC program. And you just said, we have Rosaris' evil sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell do we not have lore sections for the characters so I can read that?
Would you want to read that? Because you know that it wouldn't make any sense given all of their translation errors.
Oh man. But just knowing some of the stuff, like how Ravenna, and I forget that first like main character with the the sword gun, you know what I mean?
Palu, yeah.
Yeah, how their situation goes or whatever. I would like to know some of those things. I do like some lore stuff, even though the main game of this doesn't have. There's of course a lore, but it's not really. It's just like, oh, go do this. I would like to know how these characters go together, and this is how people get attached to certain characters. And like, man, I'm going to build the hunter team because these characters I really resonate with. I like their story, things like this.
Mm-hmm.
But
they totally could.
speaking of, it takes nothing. I posted a thing the other day, showing an example of Omni Heroes, which is another idle game, and their thing to get the diamonds is on a second page that is the lore page. You don't have to read it. It's just as soon as you open it, you get the diamonds. So people that want to read it can read it. People that don't can just click done. That's kind of what I want to see.
I do think lore adds a lot to an IP, because other than just how the heroes look and the factions, we don't, like that's why we all liked the heroes from StarCraft. That's why we liked World of Warcraft. Even back in World of Warcraft 1 and 2, you got oodles and oodles of lore through the little book that came with the PC CD when you bought it. So I agree, it would be really nice. It wouldn't take a whole lot of effort to do either.
I think most of it's already there because they are in their individual groupings and things like this.
Well, and they do the little videos on Facebook. Like I remember they did the one with Dominic versus Kalaza, where they were like, yeah, they were in the Light Gap program together, and they're blah 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 blah. Like,
or the one that I think you just played with Barog chasing after Daniel, right?
No, I used the Barog Halentus.
Oh, the other one. Okay.
But that's funny because Barog's opening cinematic in game, where he's chopping the wood, he's not chopping wood. He's chopping Daniel to pieces. Which is kind of
funny. Just those things I think are really cool. But talking about herself, it'll be interesting to see some of the stuff. I did have one thing to say about Bot 2, one of the collab ones, when we get a second. But
go for it now.
Well, okay. So Batu, his whole kit read to me a lot like Leo, but there's one thing that confused me, and that is a life after death mechanic, probably like Leo's can't die, but it wasn't anywhere in his thing, as well as an invisibility.
Kind of like Dominic
for Vanguard.
Dominic
for
has
Vanguards.
For Vanguard, Dominic has a little bit of invisibility if Batu is with the little mech hero Tamagotchi. I don't know.
Dominic's invisibility is if there's other Vanguards or assassins on the team, he doesn't get attacked. He goes invisible, and while he's invisible, he gets an attack bonus.
They could easily just say, while he's on the field with another time traveler, he's invisible to attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm assuming
it's just that's one part that everything else, like you see the tag and it matches up to something it said in the blurb. Those were just the things that didn't match up to the little blurb.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably see. Well, I guess not this week. Probably be the week after, maybe, or whenever they give
Tuesday,
the
Tuesday. Yeah.
The Tuesday. Yeah.
But as far, and I really liked that they put in his blurb that it accuracy,
affected by accuracy. Yep. The rocket deals damage to enemies in a range and also has a chance to inflict stun based on accuracy. So,
I loved that part. But as far as Arcadia, So her thing goes in a line and she stacks up kills, right? Maybe she gives hunters a way to deal with summoners.
Well, the hunters, I already use my hunters without her as my main counter to summoners. I don't use energy. If you have a maxed out hunter team with Ryzeris, and I put Leo up front, Miranda, Ryzeris, Becca, and Moriami. I don't think I've lost the hunters yet in Hell Arena with them. So
I'm just imagining her attack to be like a bot marks thing, but it goes through enemies.
well, it says piercing damage, revival, and fear. Hero overview, revival. So she's like Ryzeris. She's going to come back from the dead, most likely.
Which we have a set specifically for that, but I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, and that might be ideal. But since she's a hunter and she needs attack speed, I think you still want to put her in Unleashed. And
Unleashed Zephyr.
But then true damage, maybe you want to put her in a burst set. We haven't really had any heroes.
My speculation is that she gets true damage once she hits a certain number of stacks.
Well, she's basically a Luke then, right? If she has true damage, you pop her in, because we're using Miranda on the hunter team anyway. She's going to get true damage, additional true damage attacks underneath the shield. Maybe you want to put her in a burst set, and then have another third layer of true damage on top of everything else.
I just want to see, like, does she need a certain amount of attack speed for certain breakpoints?
Probably.
Kind of like what is it? Rebecca, every 150 attack speed, she gets extra lasers, kind of thing.
Yep. And Ryzeris needs attack speed too. She needs about 400 to hit the maximum damage with her missiles. You get more missiles on her ultimate the higher her attack speed. She's gonna have. But something
she
also
to do with gives attack speed to everybody.
I know. That's why these three are finally going to synergize together. It's just that we've had such a huge gap in between hunter releases that people aren't developing them, because if you can still make them work, they just require so much more investment. Whereas now, I think with Arcadia, since we don't have a tried and true dedicated tank counter, I do think this is going to complete the circle. Hunters, tanks, Vanguard, or you know what I'm trying to say. Energy summoners, assassins.
In my Hell Arena video this week, that's kind of something I stressed on, was that we really have the big three right now: summoners, tanks, and assassins.
Yep.
Who the hell? It's like either hunters or what you call it? Energy, but energy's not even a team right now.
Yeah, and energy just gets lit. Like, it's not
energy right now. Energy is energy, which is really 2, maybe 3 heroes, and then throw in your extras of your other 3 teams.
Yeah, I agree. Now, we will probably get an energy hero around, I do believe it's October 12th, if they skip a new hero release during the collaboration event. That will probably get rid of Luke. We'll probably synergize the team back together, but that's a month away. We can't really say. I'm hoping that this solidifies Hunters as the tank counter, and I can't wait to get this. I'm saving a Triple S Hyper Evolution Crystal for her for Thursday. I'm taking her to Hyper Evolution 120x30 without even reading her kit, because she looks that freaking cool. So I can't wait, and we'll get her kit. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, it will be posted on Facebook along with the patch. I'll do a video tomorrow. It's going to be late, though, because school's on and I can't get up that early in the morning to do a patch
And
video.
Yes, I just know that stupid stuff, like I just said about Rebecca. When I see certain things like that, it just sticks in my mind. Every 150 attack speed, you get another laser. I could just call that stuff off the top.
Yeah. So our last topic that I'm briefly going to discuss, that we did get another Facebook post this week, that I don't know if a lot of people have really been talking about it, but they asked our opinion on another game mode that we might be interested in. Now, they already, I do believe it was 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I can't keep track of time, they asked us how we would feel about a hero awakening system for older heroes, which I think is a fabulous idea. It's just maybe another progression system is too soon, given that we haven't finished filling out the Immortal Gear system yet. But I would like a Hero Awakening system to come in the future.
It depends on the system. You and I have talked off screen when that was announced, and my thought process that you seem to enjoy was from Summoner's War, which they have a thing called Second Awakening. They have 4-star and 5-star monsters. 5 stars have better stats, similar to our elite and triple S's. And the Second Awakening makes your 4-star, or in this case, elite base stats as much as the triple S's, letting Boar be a new awesome tank, letting artists, as we've seen with our free to play thing, he can dish some damage.
Yeah.
But he mostly gets left by the wayside because of those stats. So if he gets a Second Awakening, and what a lot of these Second Awakenings also do is they upgrade one ability or give them a passive or something like this to put them more. It's a way to future proof the game, right? It allows you to, okay, they're here, we're here now. Okay, Second Awakening these guys.
It's easy enough to do. They could implement something like that in game very easy. We have our 5 crystals, like Immortal, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just, now it's red stars, right? Red stars is popular in other games. It's red crystals that, they awaken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then who knows? Then later on we might get, S level 240, right? They can go forever. It is called Eternal Evolution. And we aren't even in our first year of the game yet, so... but yes, they are asking for our feedback once again on a new possible game mode. And the community, isn't really engaging as they should, but I got the post up right now. They're asking about if we are going to add an open world adventure mode to the game. Will you like it? What interesting gameplay and elements do you hope to have? Share your ideas with us in the comment. So I will just briefly say that I don't like an open world game mode for this game, especially coming from Marvel Future Revolution, which was all open world. I think they did it really well. I think that's what I'm kind of set as a benchmark, and I don't want to see them putting all their game resources going into something like that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so the only thing I can imagine is if it's some kind of like housing system. I know how they word it doesn't sound like that, but that's as far as an idle game, that's something I can imagine. Like, okay, the guild is going to meet up at Dylar's house. We're going to rate his house. We're going to talk about how he has the cool setup. And then we're going to go into the guild war whenever that.
Yeah.
But some kind of housing system or something like that would work in this game. I don't see a reason why they can't. It also gives them another thing to monetize or whatever. But as far as open world, like I said off screen, we do already have Rift Fissure. But Rift Fissure just it's a puzzle game.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I don't mind the puzzle, but if there was like, I don't know, what if it was like a little mini game thing, right? So like in League of Legends, which is a MOBA game, recently they did Eternal Fighter. I forgot what it's called, but while you're in queue waiting for a game, it's a little click game you can do, like a venture quest kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. When I envision open world for mobile games now, other than Marvel Future Revolution that did it probably the best, I kind of like Call of Dragons, Age of Empires. You know how you kind of leave.
Tower builders.
Yeah, you leave your base and then you kind of go out into the world to kill things and collect resources and stuff. The reason I don't want that, because that just means it's endless grinding, and I know some people would probably like the endless grinding at all hours of the day. It would definitely.
And you got to be on at certain times and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta. No, I don't want that. Like I've said in other videos, I think it was on Donkeys. I said my biggest plus that I give this game is that it respects my time. I don't want to do that. Right
now, the only 2 times that we have is noon Saturday once a month for Twilight Lands, and 10 p.m. At least that's the time it is for me for Summit Arenas. Move your things around or whatever.
Yep. Yep, I agree. So, guys, the Facebook post is live right now. I would say go over and give them actual, real feedback. Don't go on there and just say, "Where's Nord?" Please, that doesn't further
I
the
think that was
conversation.
the post that I
It
made that big
was.
conversation, which it got a lot of positive reaction, and it is true. If you look at most of their stuff, they are asking us some interesting questions, and some things that I would like in the game. It's just a lot of people talk about other stuff. I think you said before with the survey system, may as well just do that, right?
Yep.
Just send the survey in the game, give us some crystals or whatever for doing it, and let us on our business. But I do kind of like the idea of them doing it on the Facebook, because you get to see like the number of people, so you get to see some engagement, as
Mm-hmm.
well as if they put out some ideas, you can be like, oh man, that'd be really cool. I do like having some of that conversation.
Yeah, there's only 65 comments on there right now. That is nowhere near enough to give them a good picture. So
And
if
40 something is probably where's Nord, what
yeah,
server do I join,
yes.
stuff like that.
So maybe I'll put the link in the description of this video. I know my videos get, I don't know, 1,000 to 2,000 views. If I can even get 100 of you guys to go over there and give them actual legitimate feedback, because they are asking us to help them direct the game with what we want. And we have influenced the game before, like the chibi art style. We put our foot down and said no. And thank God that's not coming into the game, because that's what we don't want. So unless we engage with them when they ask us these things, we're not going to get what we want, and we're not going to be included in the conversation.
I do think it's worth stating just before we finish this segment is that while those questions that they are having, that the people are asking, where's Nord? What server should I join? How do I build Dominic? Things like this. Those are just the ones I saw like today. Those are fine questions. If you have questions like that, there are avenues you can go to: customer service in game, email. Even on the page you're on, you can message their Facebook person right then and there. When you're diluting the conversation, people scroll through, say, "Where's Nord?" Blah blah blah, instead of actually getting a response to the question. That makes the devs or whoever's in charge of reading this really like turn their brain off, like, okay, it's this.
Yeah, and I do have the link for the official Discord in the description of every one of my videos. That is the place for suggestions. They have specific avenues there where you can ask these types of questions. So I don't know, cool. At least it tells me that they're planning out future development, because when they go silent, when they stop asking us questions, the game is going into maintenance mode.
We know how that goes.
we know exactly how that goes. So as long as they're still engaging with us, and you know what? I've seen so much advertising for this game in the last 2 weeks on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Even though I posted the really cheesy one they did with some of the old content creators that don't play the game anymore without their permission.
Well, people who want stuff to do, we're coming into a good like solid month and a half of stuff. They didn't say how long the collab was, but I would assume right after the collab we're rolling into the 1 year.
Be close. 1 year was November 5th ish. Was global launch, I think, early November.
But SEA has already been 1 year, so I mean,
Yeah. Well, there was also the whatever the legacy server, whatever. I think that started in August. Was the beta. I know Ivy Lee, all those old guys were in there at the very beginning.
I mean, if they roll it like that, we have a good month and a half, maybe 2 months of just stuff around the corner.
And I am seeing lots of new players come into game. I'm getting week 1, week 2, week 3 questions on my Discord. They are attracting new players. We know that we've seen through our free-to-play challenge videos that they're attracting new money. They're definitely attracting new money. So
between those 3 players, we're looking at somewhere around 40K at least.
Exactly. So I just think that with the way that the servers are set up, like I'm on NA28, and a lot of people in those servers are think that their servers are dead because of the attrition of players from there, they do need to address that at some point. They do need to make it so that I can play with people up to server 155. Not immediately, because I will stomp those players. We would all stomp those players. But they got to widen that gap. They definitely got to widen that gap. Figure it out. It can be done. They can do it. Even server crunch, like Marvel Future Revolution, not to harp on it again, they had their dedicated hard servers. But I guess they were sharded in amongst those servers, and then they did server merge fairly early, so I don't see how it could be much different than that. But we'll see. So that is an hour and 5 minutes of a weekly segment. I know I tend to be the guy that has these long-winded, over an hour videos, but I didn't help. That's just my style. I kind of like doing
I didn't help either.
Yeah. So Kigerr, thanks for coming, everybody. His link is in the description. I'm not sure what do I want to do for word of the day. If you've made it this far in the video, put open world, since that's the last topic we're finishing on. Put open world down in the comments. I'll know that you made it to the end of the video, and I will I don't know, I'll send you this freaking beanbag ball I've been playing with all day. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, go give Kigerr a sub. His link is in the description. Open world in the comments. Kigerr, thank you for coming. Any final thoughts?
Just remember, save your extra limiteds and save your advanced tickets.
Yeah, go over to Kigerr's Discord. I'm sure you can find it somewhere, and give him your thanks for giving us that tip, which is definitely going to help me, because I will definitely not be spending advanced on Heroes Rally next week. Or I guess 8 days from now, 9 days from now. So yeah, save your advance tickets, save everything. I know there's going to be a giant tower next week. Only spend 80 if you're going to spend anything, or hoard. So let your conscience be your guide. So thank you again, Kigerr. Thanks to everyone watching. Till next time, everybody. Cheers, peace. Bye-bye.